Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and more, and like and subscribe for some delicious mushrooms next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Princess Toadstool, Peach. After years of being cast as the damsel in distress, Peach has become a much more active member of the Mushroom Kingdom, smashing with bros and super 3D worlding around with them as well. She's sweet, spunky, and gets things done with the help from her adorable mushroom friends. This is going to be a fun and happy video. Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need an earthy, vegan-friendly group of assistants to treat with lots of respect. Next, we need to be ready for the sports with athletic ability and clubs to smack people with. Finally, we need an umbrella to gently guide us down to the ground. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just make sure that you're watching your multi-classing minimums. Dexterity will be number 1. Peach's combo game isn't about big hits, it's about a million hits, flying 50 times per second. Wisdom next, you're pretty in touch with nature, considering your subjects are fungus. Charisma after that, you're really beloved by your people, and sweet as some sort of fruit that's sweet, like an apple? Follow that up with Constitution. If returning to the stage is your survival ability, you're really good at surviving. Strength is a bit low, we don't actually need it for much, and we'll have athletics to make up for it. We're gonna dump intelligence though, we don't really need it. There aren't many Mario games where Peach gives a chemistry lesson. Peach is a human. I know I made Mario, Luigi, and Wario halflings, but Peach is much taller than them. You get a feat for free, mobile increases your movement speed by 10 feet, you can ignore difficult terrain while you're dashing, and creatures you attempt to attack can't make opportunity attacks against you for that round, helping you go a little bit faster in the platformer. Bump your dexterity and your charisma with your 2 free points, take nature for your skill of choice to understand your people's needs, and the noble background for persuasion and history, because you're a princess. That's noble. We'll kick things off as a monk for 2 skills from the monk list, like acrobatics and athletics to get you ready for golf, tennis, lacrosse probably. If you want to hit people with golf clubs, call a quarterstaff a monk weapon and use it with some martial arts. That's going to let you use your dexterity modifier for both the quarterstaff and the unarmed attack you're making as a bonus action. That unarmed attack will also deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage. Of course, you can't do any of this while wearing armor, so it's a good thing you've got unarmored defense, making your AC 10 plus your dexterity and wisdom modifier when you're not wearing armor. I think the implication is you're supposed to be in something similar to workout gear. I'm pretty sure a tank top and parachute pants is the standard monk uniform, but it doesn't say anything about an ornate dress, so technically it works. Second level monks get key points they can use to do cool princess stuff like Step of the Wind to dash or disengage as a bonus action and double your jump distance for a round to hover a little bit, even if that's not outright flying. Patient Defense lets you dodge as a bonus action, making you even harder to hit. Flurry of Blows lets you get your 0 to death combo on, making 2 unarmed attacks as a bonus action instead of 1. All monks get unarmored movement, helping you run faster when you're not wearing armor. Mixing this with the mobile feat should help you keep up with Sonic at the Olympics. Third level monks can deflect missiles, letting you reduce the damage of incoming ranged attacks by 1d10 plus your monk level and dexterity modifier as a reaction, and even toss it back with a key point for a little counter attack. You can choose a monastic tradition. I'm going to call the open hand technique the backhand technique, letting you force a dexterity saving throw of 8 plus your wisdom modifier and proficiency bonus when you hit someone with a flurry of blows, knocking them prone if they fail, or a strength saving throw to push them back 15 feet, or no saving throw and you just stop them from making reactions for a round. 1 down tilt is all it takes, then they're going on the Rainbow Cruise. Fourth level monks get slow fall, letting you reduce fall damage by 5 times your monk level as a reaction. Every single monk I've ever built has secretly just been using a pink umbrella. Blade, pink umbrella. Trevor Belmont, pink umbrella. Vegeta, pink umbrella. You also get an ability score improvement. That lets us get our wisdom closer to our dexterity. We'll actually be using it quite a bit in a second. Like at the 5th level of monk when we use stunning strike. That lets you spend a key point to force a constitution saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they're stunned until the end of your next turn, giving you advantage on your next attacks. Peach combos are pretty easy, as long as you have 14 fingers and the reaction time of a housefly. You also get an extra attack here, letting you make 2 attacks instead of 1 with your action, and 4 attacks with your flurry of blows. Even better, you get a little damage buff since your monk die goes up to a d6. 6th level monks get key empowered strikes, making your unarmed attacks magical in terms of overcoming resistances. Worth noting that an unarmed attack doesn't have to be a slap. It can be any part of your body if you want to be a little more hip than the other punching characters. She hits people with her hips, that's the joke. Open hand monks also get wholeness of body, letting you heal 3 times your monk level as an action once per long rest, but maybe make sure that you've got an opening before you try and eat a peach the size of a human woman in 6 seconds. 7th level monks get evasion, letting letting you take half damage on failed dex saves and no damage on successful ones, helping you get away from your boyfriend's final smash. Not that it was ever that hard. You also get Stillness of Mind, letting you remove an effect of charming or frightening as an action. You can't charm a charmer, it just doesn't work. That ability score improvement is close, but we're actually going to hop over to Druid really quick, letting us scoop up a couple of cantrips. Produce Flame creates a flame that you can throw as an action, dealing 2d8 fire damage on a hit for some fire flower power. Frostbite forces a Constitution saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they take 2d6 cold damage and have disadvantage on their next attack roll if you want to be a little bit of an Ice Queen, or I guess Ice Princess, technically. Do you ever see Peach's parents? Is she running the kingdom despite not being given the proper title? Stupid patriarchy. For reverse level spells, Jump triples a creature's jump distance, or with Step of the Wind would sextuple yours for 60 feet of horizontal jumping goodness and 18 vertical feet of jumping for a full-on hover hop. Good Berry makes some good berries, then specifically that heal 1 HP and fill a belly for a day. I know rich people are pretty into fad diets, but that seems excessive. You know what else rich people are great at? Exploiting the deaths of others for their own personal gains. That's why we're making a Spore Druid at level 2, giving you a Halo of Spores, letting you deal 1d4 necrotic damage to creatures within 10 feet of you as a reaction if they fail a Constitution saving throw, letting that mushroom man you carry mess up anyone who would dare attack your Royal Highness. You also get Symbiotic Entity, letting you really get your Princess Toadstool on, giving you 4 times your Druid level in temporary HP, doubling your Halo of Spores damage, and letting you add a d6 of poison damage to your melee weapon attacks, which includes unarmed attacks to effectively double your damage, as long as they don't resist poison damage. You can activate this ability by using your Wild Shape, which can also be used to turn into a beast of challenge rating 1/4 or lower, effectively getting that beast's HP as temporary HP until it hits 0, then going back to the HP you had before. You keep your soft stats and get to use any abilities the beast could conceivably use, pretty much everything but spells. That means unarmored defense and martial arts will work, but keep in mind a claw attack isn't an unarmed attack even though it's made without a weapon. But you can make an unarmed attack as a panther if you want to be Cat Peach. I don't know what a Tanuki would be in D&D. That's something for you, your DM, and God to figure out. For this level spell, Cure Wounds heals 1d8 plus your Wisdom modifier to a creature you touch as an action. For flavor, say it's one of your peaches. The Good Berry is pretty niche. It's mostly useful in survival type games. This is the actual healing. Third level druids can learn second level spells. Enlarge Reduce got added to the druid list by the class feature variants Unearthed Arcana. One version makes you larger and the other makes you small. Getting large adds a d4 to strength based weapon attacks with weapons, not weapon attacks using your fists. It's a weird stipulation. It also gives creatures advantage on strength checks and saves. Getting small does the opposite, a d4 penalty and disadvantage on strength checks and saves. If the creature doesn't want to change size, they can make a Constitution saving throw, but if they fail, it lasts for a minute depending on your concentration. Big mushroom, mini mushroom, doesn't matter, you're the ruler of all the mushrooms. Fourth level druids get an ability score improvement. Get that wisdom modifier up for better spells, AC, and stunning strikes. You can also wild shape into creatures of challenge rating 1/2 or lower, and they can have a swimming speed. Is there a fish power up in Mario? Probably. There's a lot of stuff in the Mario games. It's been around for 35 years. Fifth level druids can learn third level spells, and it's time to start building the Mushroom Kingdom army with a little spell called Animate Dead. That's right. I'm officially declaring Princess Peach a necromancer. Mushrooms are decomposers that grow on dead or decaying organic matter, and other than Mario and the people directly related to him, there aren't people in the Mushroom Kingdom. Instead, there's a bunch of mushroom-riddled folks about the same height as Mario who blindly serve the princess, even going so far as to riding around in her handbag and jumping out to vomit poison on creatures who would attack her. That's messed up. Anyway, Animate Dead turns a dead humanoid into a zombie or a skeleton under your control for 24 hours or until you cast the spell again. When you cast the spell to refresh it, it affects up to 4 toads per third level use, with 2 more for each higher level spell you cast, which will be more important later. None of this requires your concentration, so at this point you could have 8 total toads with your 2 third level slots. 6th level spore druids get more toads with fungal infestation, basically making another zombie for an hour without a spell slot, a number of times per day equal to your wisdom modifier. It's always nice to have an extra set of fungal hands. Your Halo of Spores also now deals a d6 to help your toad vomit some really nasty stuff. 7th level druids can learn 4th level spells like Conjure Woodland Beings, which summons Fey spirits to help you out. Either 1 of challenge rating 2 or lower, 2 of challenge rating 1 or lower, 4 of challenge rating 1/2 or lower, or 8 of challenge rating 1/4 or lower. This doesn't require your concentration for up to an hour, but Fae are weirder versions of toads than the corpses of your former subjects. 8th level druids get another ability score improvement, letting us cap off that wisdom modifier for maximum casting ability and temporary employees from fungal infestation. You can also turn into beasts of challenge rating 1 or lower, and they can fly. A tanuki would probably be some sort of flying mammal, if I were to guess. 9th level druids can learn 5th level spells. Awaken lets you give a plant or animal an intelligence score of 10. A plant becomes an animated plant of some kind your DM will determine the statistics for. It's even charmed by you for 30 days and will determine if it wants to keep hanging out based on how you treat it. So be good to your subjects if you want them to stick around, or just summon another one if you'd rather use them as a person shield. 10th level spore druids get spreading spores, letting you pull up a mushroom and throw it while your symbiotic entity is active. This puts your halo of spores in a place within 30 feet of you, and the damage die are now a d8, so 2d8 when you commit to being the toadstool. 11th level druids get 6th level spells. Heal automatically restores 70 HP to a creature, and cures blindness or deafness affecting the target as well. Technically, other people can eat the peaches from your final smash, but it's probably better if you just eat them yourself. Then watch your enemies cry when they realize not only did you kill them, but you're basically at full health again. 12th level druids get another ability score improvement. Use this one for a little more dexterity, letting you slap a little harder or booty bump a little bigger. Our capstone will be the 1st level of Sorcerer. I know, weird, right? But I want to get weird, and Wild Magic Sorcerer is the weirdest you can be. After you cast a spell of 1st level or higher, your DM might ask you to roll for a Wild Magic Surge. That means you're going to roll a d20 and it'll activate on a 1. There's a page in the player's handbook that you roll a d100 on, and that'll determine what weird thing you're pulling out of the ground. Maybe it's a bomb that sets off a fireball at your feet. Maybe it's a beard of feathers. Adding a little more RNG to the game, I respect it. You also get Tides of Chaos, letting you give yourself advantage on an ability check, saving throw, or attack roll per long rest, or until a Wild Magic Surge happens with the right kind of turnip. For your cantrips, Firebolt is a ranged spell attack that deals 4d10 fire damage. Poison Spray forces a Constitution saving throw on a creature, dealing 4d12 poison damage. Ray of Frost is a ranged spell attack that deals 4d8 cold damage and slows a target's movement speed by 10 feet. And Light creates a light for your dumb human eyes. Keeping in mind, all of these are using your Charisma modifier rather than your Wisdom, so they might not be as accurate. For your 1st level spells, Sleep lets you roll 5d8, putting that amount of HP to sleep in a 20-foot radius. No saves or anything like that, and you can add 2d8 per spell level. Since you have one 7th level slot, you could use that for 17d8 of sleepy time. Then heal yourself and smack them with a golf club. Featherfall removes falling damage for up to 5 falling creatures as a reaction. You already have slow fall, but this means no height can kill you, even if you know you're going to lose the stock. Just hold the umbrella up. Make them wait. Be the devil. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you are obnoxiously hard to kill, with tons of healing methods for yourself, and some for the team too. You also don't stop dealing damage. You deal damage with your actions, your bonus actions, your reactions. You can summon other monsters to deal damage when it's not your turn. Finally, an army of undead is always nice, especially mixing in with your healing and mobility, so you can sick the toads on your foes while you get away to get healthy. For weaknesses, that capstone level was accurate and cheeky, but not good. Just get an ability score improvement and an extra key point from the 8th level of Monk. Zombies are also really vulnerable to AoE attacks like Fireball, so even if you have evasion, they don't. Finally, your base HP is pretty low, so if something beats you in initiative, it can just wipe you out fairly quickly. But most things can't deal 100 points of damage in a single round, so you should be fine. Deal the damage, heal your own damage, and turn your subjects into monsters under your control. Just make sure you're not too committed to chaos. It could leave your kingdom without much room to grow. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We're making a new video every day this month. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more, and subscribe to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.